Okay. I know it's been a minute. Since I posted the last video, but I'm not going to go into that right now. What I really want to talk about is just the most recent phone call that I got. Right now, the economy is very tough. We're all feeling it, right? Have you seen the shelves after Easter? It was like, was there an Easter? Because there was so many things on the shelf. The clearance was just full. We're going through the pinch at the grocery store. Let's not talk about gas prices, please. And people on social media claiming they have found the secret, right? They could tell you how to make $5,000 in less than 10 days. And while I'm saying that all the claims are false, there is a lot of falsehoods that I just really want to talk about that. So that's what we're going to talk about today in this video. I started my agency because I was so frustrated hearing some of the folks out there, the hacks that talked about, what marketing is and what you should do. And I've always said, if you're going to really focus in and learn how to do marketing or market for a new business, online business, you need to talk to the marketers, the people who have trained for this, who have the skill for it, and or the people who can show you exactly what they did and see if it's duplicatable. I got a call from a gentleman who was interested in starting a business. He saw all the people on TikTok. I'm going to put them all up over here. And I'm not saying that all of them are doing is false and it's wrong, but there's a lot of people out there, especially once you look at one, either your TikTok or your Reels algorithm will just point out how many great business ideas that you could do, from retired moms, retired kindergarten people, retired chefs, former doctors. They'll tell you all these things. And you're asking them, like, why are they online trying to sell something? Why, if you're making $50,000 a month, you went from $500 a month to $50,000 a month, that you need to go online and tell people how to do that? Why aren't you just enjoying your $50,000 a month lifestyle? That's my question, especially if you're a mom of three and you're busy. Let me just break it down a little bit. So just to understand the models that are out there, so you can at least be an informed person when you're deciding if you're looking at a business opportunity and maybe this is something that you want to do. And again, I'm not saying all these are wrong, but there's definitely the ones you need to look out for. So especially when you go online, if you look at TikTok, there's 3 different categories I see that's happening out there. There's the user-generated content, UGC creator. That's the person who's telling you that, hey, all you got to do is just talk about products that you love, and then you can make money. It's like affiliate marketing on steroids, but it's like how to make money as a UGC creator. And what they don't talk about is like how it requires certain gear. You have to have technical editing style to really go after and get people to really stop, scroll, and look at your video. And it's constant pitching. It's not passive. If they mention it's passive, oh, you need only a couple hours a week. No, you have to do this planning, the script writing, the editing, and you need to create a bunch of videos and work with a bunch of brands. So it's not passive at all. And then there's those, this is my favorite, that talk about digital marketing and explain that you could be a digital marketer out there. Now, I'm not saying that you can't. You can definitely learn this trade. But as someone who's got her undergrad degree in marketing, her master's in marketing, who teaches a digital marketing course, it is not an easy skill to learn. It definitely can bring in income if it's done well, but you have to be good at it. And nowadays, especially with AI coming at you as well, there are some things that you have to know how to nuance around it so you don't sound like everyone. This takes months. It takes years. My course that I was teaching was a 16-week course. It's not a week-long course, especially on some of these platforms like TikTok or Meta or Facebook or Instagram that change all the time. The other one I see all the time is buy my course. Buy a course to get a course. That's the trap. You explain that, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do it. So you don't maybe need to understand marketing. All you have to do is just follow my course and cut and paste. They're selling that same course to different beginners. And while courses are starting to make a comeback a little bit, you have to make sure that what you're saying in that course is backed up with a lot of data and a lot of truth. And the course itself has to be doable within our short attention span lifestyle. Now, the earnings claim drives me crazy. The earnings claim without proof, right? They may show you a dashboard or they show a screen that shows you like receipt with taxes and stuff like that. They could be lying. Anybody can create that. So you have to really have a good conversation with someone before you start buying into what they're offering. I know that they create things, and we do this all the time in marketing, urgency and FOMO. Only 3 spots left. That's the tactic. The prices go up at midnight. That's a tactic. Buy this product, but really the best thing is the higher product. That's a tactic. That is upselling. And not saying that these tactics are wrong, but just be aware of what they're doing. And then the systems that they're talking about. They can't really explain the business, but besides just posting on social media. But really, what's the system? What are they using? And it ends up being that their product is not what they did in the course, but actually selling the course, if you understand what I'm saying. Their ways of making money is not exactly what they did, but it is selling the course of what they did. And guess what? What they did maybe could have been 5 years ago when the markets were different, when maybe we were pre-pandemic, but it's not what you can do today. So understand they're selling a course for a course that may not even work for you. So here are 5 questions that you need to ask before you buy. 1, you want to know, can you see a breakdown of your profit versus revenue? There's one thing to say that you can make 50 grand a month in revenue, but what's the profit? The profit is what you're bringing home. And that's what they don't teach you. Revenue is just a vanity metric. It's just like number of followers. I have over 1 million followers. If they're not engaged with you, who cares? Profit is where you need to understand the margin. What are you bringing home? What do you can use to buy the baby's milk money or to pay your rent? So it's not the revenue. It's not that you can make $5,000 a month and you feel great. If it takes you $3,000 of cost to make that $5,000, that means you have only a $2,000 profit. And that is the critical difference. Also understand what are some of the additional costs, right? The upfront costs to get started. So especially if you're doing like online marketing or online sales, you got to have a website or some sort of digital presence. So how much does that cost? You got to have an email tool. And the one thing they'll talk about, you have to have money in advertising. A lot of them may say that you could do this without spending advertising, just come on here organically. Sure, you can, but you better understand the timeline, how long it's going to take you. Does organic mean that you can do this and it's going to take you 30 days or 3 years? Because that's the difference. Money is a catalyst. Advertising is a catalyst that can bring things in faster, get you at least data faster. But what are they doing? So understand the timeline is critical. You also need to know if somebody's selling a course, make sure it's their course or what are they a part of? Now, I'm not saying affiliate marketing is wrong where you sell other people's courses. You could do that, especially if you've gone through it yourself and you believe in it. But understand who the original creator is and make sure you vet the person behind that. Make sure that you understand, okay, this is a legitimate source and I can do it. I'll give you an example. Although he doesn't sell it this way, but take Alexander Hormozy. You may have heard of him, Alex Hormozy. And he has a great book out there that you could buy and that could help you make money. I can sell the book and then you could buy it from me and I make a little cut from it. Or you can buy it directly from Alex. But you need to understand, is Alex the person that you really want to model your business after? Just because I used him, did you? And just for the sake of this video, I haven't really used Alex's stuff. His marketing is okay. It is definitely a system and it's a framework that a lot of people use. I'm not saying it's wrong with it. A lot of people have had some success with it. I just find it a little off-putting, especially for me as a woman and then what I tend to try to help people with in their businesses. So that's the only thing I can say about it with that. And then you also need to understand the refund policy. Just if they do have a refund policy, what is it? Is it all sales final? Because all sales final, I think, is a little sus, if you ask me. So making sure that you have the ability to get a refund. Maybe this is not what you thought it was when you saw it. So make sure you do that. Get a refund. So no harm, no foul. Now, Here's the thing that I think is the real way you should start. If you're interested in having a business for yourself, online business, and you want to keep it, you want to have it a small amount and keep it cheap. Identify the skill you have. Instead of buying a business in a box like that, especially a digital business, learn a skill for free. I am a strong believer of YouTube University. You can learn anything on YouTube. Google certifications. Go get yourself a Google certified. These are all free. Look at HubSpot and Skillshare, some of the other ones. You can learn a skill. If you want to be a social media strategist, you can go out there and you can learn a skill. And then there's a set pattern of what you need to do to create a portfolio to get out there. Definitely solve a problem, a real business problem. Know whether it's local shops or a specific audience that you may be going after. What is the problem that you're solving? Not what you want to do, but what are you helping somebody out? And get very specific with it. Your problem is you're solving a problem for hairstylists who need to find new employees for their store, and they're tired of their booth rents turning over every 3 months. Be very specific. That's the problem you're solving, and that's the target you're going after. And then I say, start small. I wouldn't drop $500 on a course. Maybe spend $20 on a book. Like I said, YouTube it doesn't cost you anything. Buy a book or go online and look at some of the free things, which I will have an ability. You can look at some of the things on my free community that can help you just figure out how to get started, especially if you want to make a little cash on the side. And this is really my side hustle talking. I am not talking for people who want to start a full-time business and they want that to replace their income. This is just extra cash on the side to pay rent, to pay that outrageous utility bill, or to pay your gas bill. Something that you can make that's $100, $500, $1,000 a month. Nothing major, but it can definitely help you. And it's great to relieve some of the things that you may be having to deal with this, I wouldn't call it affordability crisis, is just in this economy that we are dealt with. So what I want to tell you is don't let desperation get you into a bad investment. You can make the extra money in this economy, but it requires patience and a healthy dose of skepticism. Really need to be skeptical. You really need to make sure you understand what people are really attempting to do out there. There's a lot of opportunists out there because everybody is desperate these days. So you just need to understand what to look out for. Make sure that they are legit. And if you have a problem in understanding how they're legit and maybe you don't know what to look for, I do have a blog on my site that talks about, especially when it comes to marketing, how to find the right marketing agency. But I also have a community. It's called the Marketing Therapy Lab. It's the way to come on the couch and get your questions answered and skip a few steps. And for me to tell you, okay, is this real or is this a scam? I'm willing to do that. And it's free. I started this community because I really wanted to help marketers or people just like you who are looking at opportunities and maybe they can't afford like a marketing consultant or an agency to help them with some of their needs to make money and how to find revenue. So you could join the community. A link is listed below. And it's really where I just talk and give you the brass tack. I have calculators in there so you know exactly how much it's going to cost. If you want to do an online course type of business, how much you need to cost for the webinar? What is your strategy that you need to put in place to be the most successful? I do office hours every week and I also have like certain topics that we're talking about every month. Right now for this month, we're doing what I call the 10-minute lab, where we're just doing a 10-minute exercise that you can do, but it always has to lead to some sort of revenue. So come on and join in for that as well. And if you're really interested and you want to buy that course that you've been looking at for a long time, and maybe you haven't talked to anybody, don't buy anything today. Your first step right now is to join my community. Ask me if I've heard of the course, if the course is valid. And even if I haven't heard of it, there's definitely ways to do a very thorough due diligence, like I listed above, or like I listed before, that can help you so you're not wasting money. We don't have an extra dollar to blow on anything. We don't have a dollar to waste on anything. And I'm just here to help because I've just seen such an influx of all these people out here trying to tell you to buy something that you may or may not need. and that's not going to help you make. So link below if you want to ask me the question. I have office hours, and thanks for your time.